Welcome to Bioratna. Dear students, I am Chandana Sengupta and our today's topic of discussion is taxonomical aids. Taxonomical aids from the chapter The Living World. Taxonomy, as you know now students, you are now very much acquainted with this term, that is taxonomy. Taxonomy is the grouping of organisms during classification. It is the process of grouping of organisms during classification. And those tools which help in this taxonomical process, they are called taxonomical aids. Taxonomy, it is very important because this study, whatever knowledge we acquire by taxonomy, that is very useful in many industries. It is useful in agriculture. It is useful in forestry also. It is useful in many other industries. At the same time, the first and foremost, to gain the knowledge about all. So, for that, taxonomy is important. Taxonomy means forming the different categories by the process of classification. But for proper taxonomy, what is required? For proper taxonomy, what is needed is proper identification and proper classification. Unless and until you identify a particular organism properly, you cannot classify it properly. तब तो पूरी taxonomy गलत हो जाएगी. Then you will place it into some wrong taxa. This should not happen. And for proper identification, what is required? Thorough field and lab activity is required. Means you need the actual specimen. The actual specimen is required. Then it is not just the morphological features. आप उसको देखते हो, उसके accordingly उसको classify कर देते हो. That is not taxonomy. You know that other than morphological character, we use many other aspects also, like cytology, other than morphology, we are using many. Cytology, then histology, then anatomy, then the study of biomolecules, or many things. Then only we do the taxonomy. That means intensive field and research work is required. For proper taxonomy, intensive field and lab work is very necessary. Fine. And those tools, those techniques which help us in this to gather the information as well as to preserve or conserve the specimen, these are called taxonomical aids. Let us first start with herbarium. So, the first aid, that is herbarium. What is a herbarium? The herbarium, it is the storehouse for the collected plant specimens. These are not the whole plants. This is not the live plants. This is not any garden you are growing. What you are doing, to study the different parts, to help you study the different parts, to know you about the different parts of different plants, you take out some branch, small branch having the leaf, the type of venation, etc. It is showing. Phyllotaxy it is showing. Then if seeds are there, well and good, flower is there. Then this you collect. Then what you are going to do? When you have taken it out of the plant, then you want to preserve it, na? So for preserving it, now once you have collected, what are the different steps? Once you have collected it, now you have to dry it. Otherwise, you won't be able to preserve. So first you are going to dry, then you press it, you dry it, you press it, and then you paste it. You paste it on paper. You paste it on paper, and on that paper, what information you will be writing? On that paper, you will be writing the English name first, no? This is the English name. Then the biological, that is scientific name. Biological name. This is important, na? What things you have to write? English name, biological name, then family name. Other than family name, then you are writing your own name. If you have collected it, that means the collector's name. Whoever has collected, his name should be there. Then the date on which it was collected and the place from where it was collected. So many things has to be written. Tell me one thing, bacha. Why family name? Why family name? Genus का नाम क्यों नहीं? Species और genus का नहीं. We start क्या? Only we are writing family name. Why? Because in the biological name we are getting the species name as well as the genus name. तो उसके बाद का ग्रुप कौन सा है? Family. So this family name we are writing. ये याद रखना इसको. ठीक है? These are the things which are written on the herbarium sheet. Now what? Now you arrange it according to the universally accepted classification system. Arrange करते हो properly. Systematically arrange करना, ताकि वो समय पे सही समय जब भी आप उसे चाहो तो वो आपको handy मिल सके. So then this is, they are systematically arranged. They are systematically arranged according to the universally accepted classification system. इतना आपने कर दिया हर्बेरियम के लिए. जैसे बच्चों just think कि in your this chapter only, not chapter, this unit. In this unit you will be studying biological classification, plant kingdom, animal kingdom. You will be doing it theoretically. बुक में पढ़ रहे हो, जितने प्लांट्स एनिमल्स आपके लोकल अवेलेबल है. बाकी लोगों को आपने आँख में से नहीं देखा हुआ है. What if you are studying and in your library you are having this vast storage house of this herbarium files? आप एक ग्रुप पढ़ रहे हो, you ask the librarian कि please sir give me that file, this group I am studying. Then कैसी रहेगी पढ़ाई? So this is a repository of this all information and it helps for the quick reference study. तो आप जब भी पढ़ोगे तो आपको तुरंत वो इंफॉर्मेशन देगा कि अच्छा आप ये पढ़ रहे हो तो ये लो इंफॉर्मेशन. No need to do only theoretical study. So you get the information immediately. This is the purpose of herbarium. Now let us see the botanical garden. The botanical garden. Now this botanical garden, students, these botanical gardens, they are the places where many plants are grown. Places where many plants are grown, different types of. Many plants are grown for identification purpose. आपने जितने प्लांट्स नहीं देखे होंगे आपके घर के आसपास लोकल, आपको कितने प्लांट मिलेंगे? But if you go here, then you will come to know so many plants, and that is such a nice experience. Do visit some botanical garden sometime. Fine. So फॉर आइडेंटिफिकेशन पर्पस। और प्लांट के ऊपर में क्या लेबल किया हुआ रहता है, व्हाट इज रिटन ओवर देयर? सो इट हैज the biological name, that means the scientific name, the biological name which covers the species and genus name, and the family name. The same thing that was in the herbarium also. Fine. Now let us see few botanical gardens of the world. One is Kew. This is in England. And the two from our India, it is one is in Howrah, Howrah, West Bengal. There you will write Indian. Now the same thing you will write Botanical Garden. So this is Indian Botanical Garden. Students often forget these two names ना, ये इंडिया वाले दो नेम, क्यों इंग्लैंड एवरीवन रिमेंबर्स। जहाँ पे इंडियन है, नेशनल है, बदल के लिखना है, एक बार इंडियन लिखना है, एक बार नेशनल लिखना है, किसी में बोटेनिकल गार्डन लिखना है, किसी में रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट लिखना है। रिमेंबर इन हावड़ा आप ये बोटेनिकल गार्डन लिख दीजिए, सामने में जस्ट यू राइट द इंडियन बोटेनिकल गार्डन हावड़ा। एंड द नेक्स्ट इज, अब इंडियन की जगह अब नेशनल लिखिए, दिस इज नेशनल, देन बोटेनिकल, जो जैसा था वैसा ही, दिस इज बोटेनिकल। यू आर नॉट राइटिंग गार्डन, यू आर राइटिंग रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट, दिस इज रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट। वेयर इज इट? इट इज इन लखनऊ, उत्तर प्रदेश, लखनऊ। फाइन। सो दिस आर द टू बोटेनिकल गार्डन्स। याद रखना बच्चों, भूलना मत। हाँ ठीक है, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन हैं ऐसे, इजी ऐसे चैप्टर करके इसे ओवरलुक किया गया है। अगर इसमें से क्वेश्चन आने लगे, जैसे आपने दूसरे भी प्रीवियस लेक्चर्स में देखे होंगे, देर आर सो मेनी क्वेश्चंस एंड देर आर मेनी क्वेश्चंस वेयर द डिफिकल्टी लेवल इज ऑल्सो हाई। सो स्टार्ट पेइंग प्रॉपर अटेंशन ना, नहीं तो फिर किसी सेशन के बच्चे ऐसे रोएंगे कि अभी तक तो नीट में कोई क्वेश्चन इसमें से ऐसे पूछा नहीं जाता था, अभी अचानक पूछने लग गए। Prepare yourself. This is nothing for you. Fine. So this was Botanical Garden. Now let us see museum. What about museums? What are museums? These museums, here the preserved, not the live ones, the preserved plants and animals are kept. Plants, animals are kept for study purpose, for reference purpose, for identification purpose. That's why they are present in educational institutes, because they are of much use to the students. That's why they are present in the educational institutes. Now here the plants, animals are preserved now. So what are the different ways in which this can be preserved? First, they are kept in preservative solution. So this can be kept in preservative solution, that is formalin. Next, no need to keep in preservative solution the dead organisms. For example, no, here first we write to dry and pin. What is this process? For example, the insects don't need to be kept in the that preservative solution. What you are doing, the killed insects, they are first dried, and then the killed insects, they are dried, and then they are pinned in insect box. So that box is there for the reference where the different insects will be found. What is the next? It is some big animals like birds and mammals. Big animals like birds and mammals. Birds and mammals, they are stuffed. Their body is stuffed to preserve them. Fine. Here also, this is also one neat question. This is here also that it is the insects, way by which process the insects are kept in museum. So these are drying them and then pinning them in the box. So other than the organisms in the museum, you can also find the skeleton of various organisms. The skeleton of organisms. जैसे आपको फ्रॉग पढ़ना है, स्नेक पढ़ना है, फिश पढ़ना है, ह्यूमन बीइंग का पढ़ना है, all the skeleton you will find there. Fine. That's why for study purpose, for reference purpose, it is very best for the students. Next is zoological park. The zoological parks and the key. Zoological park and key. Zoological park आसान लगता है? Key difficult लगता है? Let us say zoological park. It is a place where the animals are kept. Different types of animals. Animals are kept under human protection. These are kept under human protection. Human protection. और क्या? We try to provide the organisms as far as possible. We try to provide them their natural environment. Their natural environment as far as possible. As far as possible. Now, for what purpose they serve? This zoological park. The zoological park, here we can observe the food habit. To observe the food habit of these animals and the behavior of the animals. Means this is everything is for the students. Everything for the students. Do visit the zoological parks. Do in your formative years, this will help you a lot. Then biology will become a interesting subject for you. So this was zoological park. Now let us come to key. What is a key? The key is for identification purpose only ना. यहाँ हम इसका purpose सिर्फ और सिर्फ है. It has identification purpose. It consists of the key has a pair of it is suggesting you a pair of contrasting characters called couplet. This is couplet. Now each of the trait in the couplet, each is called a lead. ये सारा लग रहा है जैसे फ्रेंच भाषा चल रही है ना. लीड का स्पेलिंग गलत है क्या? LEAD, लीड. टू टेक अ लीड. आई डाउट दिस वन ना, स्पेलिंग देख लेंगे इसको. हाँ. सो व्हाट इज इट? जैसे you are not able to, you have gone to visit some forest or whatever, any garden, and you are not able to identify a particular plant. So now you take out this key and you read कि अच्छा क्या लिखा हुआ है. Is this plant is having taproot and then the venation, that reticulate venation, etc., or it is having fibrous root and parallel venation. दो contrasting traits है. You observe at your plant and then you select one. So out of this couplet में तो both are called lead ना. Why both are called lead? If this is the couplet having suggesting two contrasting traits, so you can take this path or this path. Depending on the specimen which you are having, you can select this one or this one. So both can be lead. Both can be a lead. This is how you जैसे आप और एक analogous example ले सकते हो. Suppose one person comes to a school and says that I want to meet Rohit. So the peon asks Rohit, one is in class 7th, one is Rohit of class 7 or 9. He says, oh no, class 9th. That means out of the couplet, he has rejected one and selected one. He has selected the class 9. Then he says, okay, in class 9, there is a tall one and there is a short one. Which one? So he says the short one. This is how you go on selecting and then you identify the specimen. This is the purpose of key. And this is, the keys are, so we say that keys are analytical in nature. Keys are analytical in nature. खत्म हो गया क्या? नहीं, छोटे 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 और भी कुछ कैटलॉग्स, मोनोग्राफ्स वगैरह है ना, उसे भी देख लें. Now, the Flora manual and monograph. Flora manual and monograph. What are they? Flora. It is not the account of the flower. It is the actual, it contains the information about what? About the habitat and distribution. और एक नीट का क्वेश्चन about habitat and distribution of plants of an area. Okay, so it is the information about habitat and distribution. और एक MCQ है यहाँ आपका, what is flora? ये पीछे लास्ट पेज वाले इतने मत भूल जाया कीजिए. फ्लोरा मैनुअल एंड मोनोग्राफ. सो व्हाट इज मैनुअल? ठीक, सो दिस मैनुअल it helps in identification of species of an area. उस एरिया में जो स्पेसिस है, आप मैनुअल खोल के बैठ जाओ तो उसकी मदद से आप उन्हें पहचान लोगे. व्हाट इज मोनोग्राफ? दिस मोनोग्राफ, it contains the account of only one taxa. It contains all information of the account of one taxa of a place. One taxa का क्या मतलब हुआ? One taxa doesn't mean one species. It can be, you have studied the 7 hierarchical levels of classification. उसमें से वो कुछ भी हो सकता है बच्चों. It may be species, any particular species, उसके बारे में सब कुछ, एक जगह में जो species पाई जाती है, या वहाँ का genus is also one taxa. तो it can be the family, any one taxa, and describe everything about it. So that is monograph. This is one taxa, account of one taxa of a place. Taxa को often बच्चे फिर species से somehow convert कर देते हैं. Some chemical reaction goes on in their brain ना. So थोड़ा सा careful रहिए, ठीक है, थोड़ा सा careful. This is class 11. This is first chapter. From first chapter only, just पढ़ने का स्टाइल आप चेंज कीजिए. Be more observant, more careful, more analytical, और बहुत studious रहिए. And it will be a great journey. And you will be a great doctor. If this video is helpful to you, then do like and subscribe. Thank you for watching the video.